All right, good morning everyone. Jimmy here from Heavy Mag. We've got Ed here as well, and we have Jake from Health. How you going, Jake?
I'm doing good.
That's
Thank you
good,
for having
man.
me.
How's Australia been? You been here before?
We've been here a lot.
Yeah.
And especially in the last, we were here 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And then we were here the year before that. So we kind of had a little bit of a drought between COVID obviously fucked everything up.
Yeah, for
Can I
everyone.
say fuck?
Yeah.
Right.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
I don't like, yeah. So we missed, there was one album cycle where we just missed it, So we had kind of a long gap in between.
Yeah.
And then now we've just been kind of coming back. We love it here.
Yep.
It's awesome.
How did Knotfest Melbourne treat you, the first one on the
Great.
run?
I didn't realize there'd be so many. We were playing pretty early. Everybody's there.
Yep.
A lot of festivals in the U.S., people are like, oh, it's going to be hot. I'm not going to go that early.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
all came in.
They tend to line up about 2 hours early here, which is no fun at all, but they come in for it.
Or they
so it's all
camp
good.
overnight.
Yeah.
We've had that before too.
Heavy music fans are real fans.
Yeah.
That's
Take it
right.
really seriously. So
They are.
yeah, and the fest was impeccably run. Everything was good. The bands are great. We're just stoked to be here. So
That's good. And you did a DJ set pre-Knotfest show?
my bandmate did.
Bandmate
I
did,
was
yeah?
in bed.
You're in bed.
Yeah. We got in that morning. I was like, dude, you're crazy. Because we got in that morning. He wasn't paying attention to the schedule.
Yeah.
So I think he thought it was an after party of the fest, not a pre-party.
Oh, yeah.
And he found it out like a day before, and then we had lobby call at 9:45 in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So he was wrecked. And then we had to like play in the sun. He was just looked like a fucking piece of cheese pizza that had been sitting out.
Oh.
Sweating all out.
Yeah. But it's rock and roll. He
Yeah,
made it
yeah,
through,
yeah.
right? He made it through.
That's it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you guys have been here quite a few times. Is there a particular memory for you that stands out on the time you've been to Australia?
I'm trying to think of one that leaps out. We've always had a really good time here. I got stung by a blue bottle jellyfish swimming in Sydney.
Nasty.
Did you pee on it? That's what you meant to do.
No, it was on my arm. I would have had to like.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
I'd actually been stung
You
by
actually meant to
jellyfish
get someone
before.
else to pee on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Which is a bit weird.
And I was with my band. I'd rather die.
Fair enough.
So that was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
The strangest thing for us with Australia is it's actually the first place, say the only place that we always had good shows.
Yeah.
Usually you kind of build, our band isn't the kind of band where we put out a record and it was a debut and it fucking exploded and like everywhere you go, you have get throngs of fans waiting.
Yeah.
We make pretty esoteric music, but for some reason, in just different eras of our band, coming here has always been good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something about our music seems to resonate with Australians.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's true.
So we like it.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. And can you, Paulie, explain to us what Health is and the type of music that you guys make?
Well, we're definitely not a genre band, so it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
We sort of had different eras of the band. So when we started, I'd say we were part of a very obscure underground noise scene that was centered around downtown Los Angeles. So it was like post-punk, no-wave noise rock.
Yeah.
It was like very niche, and we were just kind of having fun being young and playing shows in warehouses and apartments and art galleries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was very transgressive, non-melodic,
Yep.
but we've always kind of had an industrial
Edge to it.
bent to it.
Yeah.
And I grew up loving industrial music, and industrial music actually is an outgrowth of the post-punk scene.
That's it.
Like the progenitors of it are bands like Throbbing Gristle and Cabaret Voltaire.
Yeah.
That inspired bands like Nine Inch Nails and like Al Jorgensen and everything. So I would say the easiest way to explain it now is that we are a modern industrial band.
Modern industrial. Yeah.
So one genre that came up was cum metal.
Come metal.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So that's more John's invention, but it actually our online presence is like the music is deadly serious, and the way we present everything is very much has an aesthetic, sort of bleakness and honesty to it. But we think that like the way most people live modern life is pretty juxtaposed in that way. we're all, even when you're sad, you might be listening to sad music, but you're looking at ridiculous memes on your phone. And that's how people kind of experience things now. So we've really kind of tapped into that, and our fans, we've done a lot of video game composition work. And so the Venn diagram of our fan base is it's like people who like extreme music, but are extremely internet literate and love nerd culture and anime and video games and all this shit, So the Come Metal thing was kind of a joke for us to encapsulate like being a non-genre band.
Yep.
But the main part of it came out of, you guys know like Sleep Token or Bad Omens get called baddiecore.
Yes.
It's like it's metalcore, but it's for the ladies. It's sensual. The lyrics are about relationships. They get people engaged in a way that's non-traditional from... It's like, the way Def Leppard was a hair metal band, but it was like their fans were 80% women.
Yeah.
So it was sort of John's answer as a joke. It's like, no, it's not baddiecore, it's cum metal.
Yeah. It's the opposite.
And so it kind of just became a joke that we riff on.
Yeah.
Well, it stands
To
out.
the chagrin of my mother-in-law.
Yes.
It gave us a good conversation point, so that's good. Yeah, you brought up a couple of bands in there. You brought up Nine Inch Nails, Sleep Token. Let's talk about that. So there's been some collab there. There's been some tours.
Yeah, we started doing a lot of collaborative stuff right before the pandemic. We had a history of doing remix albums, which we came out of really liking the electronic music scene, like the underground electronic music scene. And the symmetry of how we released records was we'd always do an LP and then there'd be a remix album. But we didn't want that to become formulaic. Like, if it's not creatively valid, you don't want to just do it because that's what you always do.
Yeah.
So we hit upon the idea of, well, because remixes are collaborative, they're just not directly communicative. Someone's interpreting your own music, so it gets a new life. So we kind of thought it'd be more interesting to just make songs with bands that we like.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, and I think it just happened to coincide with a moment where bands are very precious about their creative process, and a lot of times they're much more insular. Like, you could ask a band to do a collab, and they're like, I don't know, dude, the drummer's like lives in a different state, he's gonna freak out if we fucking do anything without him,
Yeah.
And so that has made it harder, or they don't want to. The pop world or the hip hop world has been very, very open to features and guests, and you kind of just, it takes a village sort of mentality.
Yep.
And I think that especially the newer wave of heavy music, like bands like Sleep Token or Bad Omens, that are very computer literate and have their feet in the, they love The Weeknd as well as Bring Me the Horizon. And I think people just become much more open-minded about collaborating together on songs.
Yep.
And it just happened to be the same moment where we started doing it, and the fans became more open-minded about it too. So we got to do tracks that I never would have thought would have worked. Like, we did a song with Lamb of God. We did a song with Nine Inch Nails.
Yep.
A song with Full of Hell. Like, all these bands that have a sound palette that you wouldn't think would lend itself to collaborating. But once people are open-minded about it, you can kind of make almost anything work. And the cool thing is, there's no structure or pressure to it. You're not trying to write a single, you're just trying to write a song. So if there's no vibe and it doesn't work, you just don't do it.
Try and have some fun with some friends, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, there's not a preconceived notion of like, okay, this song needs to be like this.
Yeah.
And when it works, my God, doesn't work, like with you guys.
And the thing is that what we've learned is the best way to start, too, is to start really skeletally, because otherwise you'll get a feature, you won't get both bands actually making a piece of music together.
Yeah.
Because like anything in life, you're only going to do what you're going to do, even if it's something that you are trying to get out of your comfort zone or do something outside of the box of how you would think. But if I start making music with another band, invariably they're going to have some melodic sensibility.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, definitely.
So how did that process work? You talked about before that was kind of all coming about before COVID. How did that work through COVID?
I mean, honestly, dude, it was a perfect time to do it because I don't think we get a Nine Inch Nails collab if anybody can leave their houses. Like, I fucking timed it out. Like, I know Trent well enough to send him an email.
Yeah.
And, like, if he's too busy, he won't respond. And if he isn't busy, he'll respond.
Yep.
And it was right at the time where it's like, okay, there's no more movie production. They're not scoring any movies. No one can play any shows. It's like, I'll just send an email.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And that was, in the aggregate, it was dog shit for the world, but there was a couple little Easter eggs for us. And one of them was people were stuck at home and wanted to create things.
Wanted something to do, plenty of time on their hands.
So in that instance, you have a thing where it's like phone calls and all of us are in LA and nobody meets.
Yeah.
But the ideal way is to, at one point, if you can't get in the room together,
Yep.
to at least to start, you know, so that you can feel each other out and have fun, and then you can take it and finish it.
Right. Speaking of having fun, what's the plan for the show today? What can we expect?
I'm really struggling with how to properly yell at the fan base like everybody else is. And do like
In what regard?
I sing like an androgynous school child. So, and then all day every band is like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" And everyone just kind of sees it as like, "Oh, cool, like you're one of us." And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. So I'm really struggling
Hi,
with
guys.
that. Yeah, I want to be like, if I did that, it would be really disenchanting. It's like a dog or a bee that could smell fear. You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know how to quite do that yet, but I'm going to try to figure it out. And we're going to try.
What you did, man? That was
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
really good. That was
I know,
good.
I should. And we're going to try to bring a different flavor and
Yep.
then hang out and watch the bands.
Okay, well, we'll be over there to watch the show, so we've got to wrap it up now. We've just run out of time.
Yeah.
You've got another one to go to, I think.
Okay.
So
Thank you so
Thank
much.
it was
you
good
so
to have you,
much.
Jake. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you guys.